So I wanted to do a video for my fellow teachers on here. And I just wanted to explain what teaching means to me and how my understanding of teaching has evolved over the past 20 odd years that I've been teaching. I think being a teacher is really difficult, especially when you're starting out. You're trying to maybe emulate your own teacher or other teachers that you've seen, but to really find your own way in teaching it's difficult and it takes time. So I just wanted to do this video to go through a few principles that I think are important for you to understand, that I necessarily didn't understand myself straight away, but it's taken lots of trial and error and seeing lots of bad teachers and seeing good teachers to see what is important and what isn't. I think the first thing that's really important is to understand that teaching is a service. Yeah? Teaching is something that you do to make other people better and to provide value to those people that come to see you. Unfortunately, this isn't always the case, especially in the traditional Chinese martial arts or internal arts or things like this. A lot of the time, teachers use teaching. Well, first of all, they get into teaching because they really want to teach. Yeah, they want to feel the ego boost, the importance of standing in front of people and teaching them. But also, it becomes more and more of a power trip for teachers. So they start to demand more and more things from their students. This is unhealthy. This is unhealthy for you as a teacher. This is unhealthy for the student. The mindset is incorrect. You are providing a service to your students. You are trying to make their lives better. I've seen organizations, and I've been part of organizations and been with teachers where the students being stressed out, the students always being in fear of what the teacher thinks or what the teacher's going to say becomes the norm. And it is sold as, this is part of your progression. I'm helping you kill your ego. Maybe that's true, but there's healthier ways, yeah? And a better way to look at it is to understand that students who are spending their time and spending their money to come and learn from you, they want to make their lives better. They want the training, whether it's hard physical training or whether it's internal meditative training, whatever it is, it's to make their lives better. If you're not helping make their lives better, make them better people, then you're not a good teacher. If people are stressed out around you, you're not a good teacher. I would say you're not even a good person. It's important to understand that as a teacher, you're providing a service, helping people be better. And it should be humbling for you. You should feel humbled that people are coming to see you to learn from you. People are spending time learning from you. I remember when I was a younger teacher, earlier on in my teaching, that if students didn't train hard enough, I would get offended. I would feel personally offended that people are not training hard enough. That's silly. That's a really silly way to think, because people have lives, people have children, people have families, people have jobs, you know, and they're fitting you into their evenings, which is usually the free time that people have to spend with their families or their own free time or hobbies, and they're coming to see you to train with you so you can put them through whatever your class has put them through. That should be humbling for you. You should be grateful. It's not a situation where you feel like you have power over these students. Why? To boost your own ego. This is no good. It's a process a lot of us go through. I definitely went through it, but it's something you need to get past. It's not good for you. It's not good for them. Always go back. Teaching is a service. I am providing a service to my community, to my school, to my students. I guess the next thing that follows on from that is people that come to your school, people that come to train with you, you don't know what they've been through in their lives. Yeah, they've been through all sorts. Some people have come from traumatic homes, some people have come through traumatic relationships, some people are looking for something and they think they can find it with you. Everyone will project onto you what they themselves are looking for. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the projections. There'll be some students who put you so high on a pedestal that sometimes you think, wow, really? Am I that great? Don't fall for it. This is damaging to your own progression. This is damaging to your own soul. Don't fall for students' propaganda. The best teachers I've ever met are the ones that are constantly reminding their students how useless they actually are, reminding them of their flaws. So reminding the students of the teacher's own flaws, saying to the student, you think too highly of me. This is not my reality. This is my flaws. Don't allow students' projections, or anyone's projections in life, but we're talking about your role as a teacher. Don't allow students' reflections, students' projections to become your reality. They are not true. They are not true. The only difference between you and a student is the thing they're coming to learn from you, whether it's Kung Fu, whether it's meditation, whether it's Qigong, whether it's internal art, whatever it is, you've just done a bit more training than they have. So you hopefully know the path better than they do and you can guide them. That's it. That's it. You're not a better person. You're not more moral. You don't have a better connection with the divine. None of that. None of that. You are the same. They're just coming to you to learn whatever it is they're coming to learn from you. Teach them that. That's it. All of the other propaganda around it, all of the other belief systems around it, irrelevant, harmful, forget it. And if you can do that properly, if you can really let go of the projections that students impose on you, you'll be much happier as a teacher. Because if you try really hard to live up to these projections and really try to maintain this image that the students have of you, then first of all, you're having to maintain, if you've got 50 people in front of you, 50 different images of yourself, you're putting on a mask, you're contracted so much around protecting this image, this master image or whatever it is you're projecting, because you've watched too many old Hong Kong classics movies and this is how the master should behave. So you're trying so hard to maintain this image, causing you anxiety, causing you stress, causing you all sorts of mental health problems. And at the same time, you're standing in front of people, telling people how to be mentally and physically healthier. Don't allow student projections to make you be a certain way. Be yourself, teach them what you're teaching them, and that's it. Laugh with them, joke with them. It's fine. It's fine. You don't need to act like anything. Be yourself. Most good teachers train really hard and have trained really hard. If you're not training in the system that you're teaching, then I would say you're not a very good teacher. Because I would say these arts are something you need to continuously train in, to refine and to refine and to refine. If you're teaching people how to train, if you're telling people how to conduct their lives in accordance with what to train and what to practice on a daily basis, and you're not doing it, then you're a hypocrite and you're not a good teacher. So what are you doing? Why are you teaching? Why are you teaching something you don't believe in? Because if you believed in it, you'll do it yourself. Don't be the kind of person that tells people to be a certain way, to train a certain thing that you don't do yourself. This is harmful again for you and for them. If you're training, then you are continuously refining, you're making yourself better in your art, and you're making them better. Because what you're teaching them comes from your own experience. It's not something you trained 7 years ago and you stopped training it, but you're still teaching it. Now, of course, there's nuances to this. Obviously, you'll be teaching certain foundational stuff that you may not be doing as much as you tell them to do it. You may be revisiting the foundation once every couple of weeks or once a month or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about training. Are you training? Are you telling people to train and you're not training yourself? Or are you also doing the training on whatever level you're training at? Are you still training? Do you have training time? Don't be a hypocrite. Another thing I would say is, in this day and age, running a martial arts school or an internal arts school or whatever is difficult, you know, because you're running a business, right? So my school here, Kung Fu Zone, is in central London. Central London is expensive, yeah? I have rent to pay, I have business rates to pay, I have utilities to pay, I have all of these different insurance things that I need to pay. It's expensive. So sometimes it might be tempting to adjust or tailor your principles so that you're not losing money. And I actually talked about this with a friend of mine who's a very good teacher. And we were discussing the fear of losing students. Sometimes, and for a long time, you know, it's something a lot of teachers go through, being scared of losing students. But I think it's very, very important that you understand that if a student is meant to train with you, they will train with you. If they're not, they're not. And students will eventually go. Students will eventually go. And they may not go in the sense as disappear from your life, but that relationship will change. If it doesn't, that means you're not really teaching them properly. If their art that you're teaching them is not improving to the point where they're actually needing you less and less, then you're not really teaching them very well. Because at some point, each person, whatever art they're doing, if they train properly and deep enough, the art should become their own. So hopefully my senior students, their art over time should develop into their own art, different to mine. It shouldn't be my system. My system is a culmination of me, my upbringing, my genetics, my innate abilities, my thought processes, and how my body manifests these arts. Everyone's different, so they should have different arts. Yes, at the beginning you will learn the rigid foundation, rigid way of doing it, but again, these don't matter when you deepen, because it becomes you. It becomes an expression of who you are. So don't be afraid of getting rid of students who are disrespectful, who are insincere, who are inauthentic, who are hypocrites, who are just not good people. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Because what they do is they bring you down, they bring the whole community down, they bring the whole school down. Get rid of them. And if students decide to leave, again, it's fine. Be grateful, because they gave you their time for whatever period they did. And hope that as they go, they got some value from what you provided. And in the same vein, I would say, again, don't compromise on foundation. Don't compromise on the basics of your system. Because you're either trying to teach the system correctly, because you love the art so much that you think it is valuable to pass on correctly, or you're just pandering to what students who come in have watched a few movies and want to learn these flashy kicks or these flashy punching movements. Bring people back to reality. Teach them Kung Fu the correct way. Teach them the foundation. Don't let them move on because you want them to grade so that they can learn the weapons form or they can learn the more advanced form. This is useless. Forms are useless without foundation. Forms help you express the foundation in different ways, in different, more complicated ways. Without the foundation, you're just doing dance. Do not compromise in the quality of your teaching. And I think the last thing I would say is meet people where they are. Not everybody who comes to train with you wants to become a master. You know, I've got a lot of students, and some of them want to become as good as they can in the art. They put in time. Sometimes I see them for 4 or 5 days a week. And I have students who I see once a week, once every other week, and they're just coming to just get a bit fitter, maybe lose a bit of weight, get a bit stronger. That's fine. Both are fine. Both are fine. Don't go to the one who's training less. You're not serious enough. You're not trying hard enough. That's where they are. Meet them where they are. If your teaching is good and if it's meant to be, then they will up their training. They will train more. They will get more serious, if that is their path. If not, let them be. Everyone is where they are. There's many more things I can say, but I didn't want to make the video too long. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you think I could have talked about, or anything that I don't know that you might be able to help me understand. And yeah, till next time.